That's just another thing about independent filmmaking and filmmaking in general. You need to be agile, you need to be constantly problem solving and never let anything get you too stressed or overwhelmed. Hi there, my name is Sophie Hattch and I am a freelance producer and graduate of the BA Screen from 2017. I have produced 2 feature films. My first, Suburban Wildlife, was made during my time here at AFTRS and will be premiering at Cinequest this year. And my second, Sequin in a Blue Room, recently received $10,000 of the Queer Screen Finishing Fund and will be hitting the festival circuit soon. I'm going to give you some of my top tips for producing your first feature film. So my first tip is fast, cheap and good, and you can only pick 2. So this is something that our production designer Anna Gardner taught me, and it's a really good thing to keep in mind in all aspects of production, whether it's scheduling, design, post-production. It essentially means if you want something to be done fast and cheap, it's not going to be that good. If you want something to be done good and cheap, it's not going to be done fast. And if you want something to be done good and fast, it's not going to be cheap. It's a really good thing for yourself and for your team so that you're not expecting the impossible. My second tip is have a team to support you and work with you. Get an associate producer or a production manager on board. Producing is a massive job, especially in the independent world, and it's just too much work for one person. I know that for my 2 films, there are so many things I wouldn't have been able to do without those people working alongside me. You know, managing cast and crew, the scheduling, the call sheets, catering, you know, that kind of stuff really takes up a lot of time and energy, and having people around you can really make it a more enjoyable experience. Know when to communicate with your director and when to wait. So producing is 90% just putting out fires. When you're in the middle of a shoot, if there is a fire happening, I don't necessarily want my director to find out about that fire at the time in case it impacts their ability to direct the scene. For example, on Sequin in a Blue Room, you know, we would have like a sound recorder pull out the night before we had an 8 AM call time. So I would go and solve that problem, often in a panic, but get it done and then tell my director sort of later that night once we'd wrapped. This is why it's also really good to have an associate producer or someone working with you so you guys can communicate and work through issues together and then ultimately tell your director when the time is right. You and your director will tell each other everything, but it's all about timing. If you enjoyed these top tips, subscribe to the AFTRS YouTube channel and keep an eye out for part 2. And if you want to keep up to date with Suburban Wildlife and Sequin in the Blue Room, they both have Facebook and Instagram pages so you can see everything that's happening.